with the cities.
All right, we're back. Still in the same classroom, but now we're surrounded by our great teachers that I mentioned earlier. First of all, we have Miss Salmon. Miss Salmon, we will wave at us here. Thank you very much. Miss Woodleaf. And, of course, now we have Mr. Wilder and Miss Velez. Yes. Okay. So you guys all represent different facets. I need to get a wider shot here. You guys represent different facets of education. Let's do a little introduction first. We can kind of get a background on where you come from and your time in the system.
I'll start. I started in January of 1990 as a high school English teacher, and I taught for 3 years, and then I went to graduate school, and then I was a media specialist for 15 years, and now I have an additional 6 years as a middle school teacher. So my experience is kind of wide, would you say?
And what discipline have you been in the last several years?
English language arts.
Okay, very good. Super. Miss Woodleaf.
Okay. I started teaching in 91. I have certification K through 8 and then middle school social studies. I've taught every grade 3rd through 12th. I've taught public school and private school Montessori. And right now I teach Georgia Studies.
Awesome. 8th grade Georgia
Yes.
Studies. 8th grade. Okay. All right, Mr. Wilder.
This is my 11th year of teaching. I began in 2005, 9 years in one system, and this is my 2nd year in Henry County at Ola Middle School. And I teach special education, generally deal with students that have learning disabilities, emotional behavior disorders, or they are probably autistic.
And you're co-teaching currently in a blended classroom under what discipline?
Language arts.
Language arts as well. Very good. All right, Miss Velez.
I started in 2010, and I taught Spanish for about half a year. Then I came into math for 7th grade, and now I'm teaching 8th grade math.
Fantastic. All right, so thank you very much, guys, for all being here. Basically, again, the topic of discussion is education, where it's been, where it was when you first started your career path, and where it's come to today. The highs and lows and your observations and opinions on how you see the education field continuing. It's kind of an open discussion, so feel free to toss back and forth between each other if you have comments. Ms. Salmon, would you like to lead off?
I'll lead off
Okay.
since I've started earlier than everyone. I used to write on a chalkboard with chalk. And I had an overhead projector that I really used a lot. And in the school where I first taught, we didn't even have bookshelves. I mean, to me, the classrooms were very spare compared to things that we have now that we expect to have, like a cabinet and shelving and a computer counter and all those things. We didn't have much, and we didn't know we didn't have that.
But you could also do, like, my first classroom, I was allowed to paint it royal blue.
My
Wow.
my
You could do
neighbor
whatever you
teacher painted literary quotes on each of the, not each, but she selected certain blocks, cinder blocks, and she used quotes from the works that were studied during the year in her classroom, and she always taught the same thing year after year after year. So that's a way it used to be. I think you taught the same things, and now there's more variety, which I think is good. I think that technology has allowed us to do so many things, like sharing materials. I think is the absolute best thing that it has done for us, because we used to carry file folders to each other up and down the hall, and you couldn't teach a unit together because you didn't have the materials to teach the unit at one time.
No.
And now you can do all of that. And email for teachers, I mean, I can remember writing notes to people, sending notes with kids, getting notes from the office, getting notes in my mailbox. And so now our communication is better. However, the trade-off for that, I think, is the demand on what we can accomplish in a day is exponentially higher than it used to be. So we got those new things, and then it was like, oh, look at all the new stuff they can do. And then I feel like we've gone overboard.
And I liked it better when I first started, it was truly middle school. It's not middle school anymore. As far as personalized learning goes, I could do way more back then than I can't now. But we used to do units. When I taught literature, we did Harry Potter for our novel that year, and we divided our team up into the 4 houses, and we did points, and I mean it was so much fun. But we used to do a lot of big units
Have more
across.
flexibility.
Yeah, and you really were a team, and we would meet with the kids every week. I mean, we were like a family. It was wonderful. and you had the time to, now you're so constricted by the curriculum. Back then, when we were allowed to do that, we could veer off. When there was something that they became interested in, you could do that.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and come right back. Hang on.